Hey everyone, I am Corey, the content manager here at HonDiscover, and we are so excited today to be doing another Facebook Live. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite destinations. It's one that I visited for the first time back in 2015, and then I went again in 2019, so just last year, and it's a beautiful destination, and that is, of course, Iceland. So one of my favorite places in the entire world, and also one of the most accessible, I think, due to a variety of reasons, which we're going to be sharing with you today. But today, my guest is Jón Gunnar Benjaminson, and he is the founder and owner of the tour company Iceland Unlimited. It's a company that specializes in wheelchair accessible tours. So let's welcome Jón.
Hey, Corey.
I'm so excited to have you.
Well, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, it's really an honor. I wish we could be hanging out in Iceland today. That would be a lot more fun. But unfortunately, right now is not the best time to travel internationally. So we can't do that today, but hopefully soon we'll be back to normal and I can get back to Iceland.
Yeah, that I say too. That time can't come soon enough.
Yeah, exactly. And to start us out, can you tell us about who you are and a bit about your company, Iceland Unlimited?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jón Gunnar Benjaminson. I am the owner and the founder of Iceland Unlimited, which is a tour company I started in 2010, August 2010. I got my permit to operate a travel agency. I was a tour guide in Iceland, and in 2007 I was involved in a car accident, and I was paralyzed from waist down after that car accident. And 3 years after my accident, I started this company, and in the beginning it was just me. And then as time went on, more and more people got added to my team. And in 2019, we were 13 that were working at Iceland Unlimited. And yeah, then something happened in 2020 that I think everyone is aware of, which has seen my team unfortunately get a bit smaller while we're going through this. But we're optimistic that we can start operating again next year as before. So it's going to take us probably a few years to get back to where we were, but yeah, we are optimistic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important for everyone watching to know that you are a wheelchair user yourself. So,
Yes.
frequently when we're traveling, I think it's really, having the input from that firsthand perspective from a fellow wheelchair user that actually lives in Iceland and knows what is accessible to plan the trip. And, through my 2 trips, you've been a tremendous help at letting me know, what's accessible, what can I do in Reykjavik, or can I go to the Blue Lagoon or the South Coast or all of these other amazing places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And,
I think having that first-hand perspective is very important when it comes to accessibility. People might think that certain things are accessible, but for a non-wheelchair person or non-handicapped person, sometimes you just really don't. So yeah, having that first-hand perspective is important. I agree.
Yeah, and is my video frozen, by the way? Can you?
Yes, your video is frozen.
Ah, okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's doing this. Sorry, everyone, but we'll keep moving along, I guess, and hopefully it'll fix. But yeah, I don't know.
You can try to stop the camera and then start the camera again. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, let me see. Sorry, everyone watching. So sorry. Okay, it's working now, I think.
Yep, there you are.
Okay, you're a genius. That was a good idea.
Reboot.
You know, once someone arrives into Iceland, how can they expect to get around? Like, is the public transportation accessible, or does your tour company offer accessible, you know, an accessible vehicle or van? And can we talk about that a bit?
Yeah, so when you arrive, you you fly into Keflavik International Airport, and unfortunately, the public transportation, like the fly bus, is not accessible at all. So a private pickup is the way to go. So if you can get into a taxi, then that's easy. Taxis are everywhere. But if not, we can arrange an accessible vehicle for your airport pickup and basically all your transportation if you wish. But once you are in Reykjavik, it's easier. Then the buses are accessible.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is a photo of you getting into a Reykjavik bus. So yeah, that becomes much more easier. But unfortunately, and we've been fighting a long time with the bus companies to improve that, but unfortunately they don't have accessible flight buses yet.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. But whenever I visited Iceland both times, I did use your company, and the adapted transportation is fantastic.
Yeah.
We had a really great driver the last time, last summer. I actually led a group trip in Iceland, so there were a few of us wheelchair users, and this van was large enough for all three of the wheelchair users in my group. And our driver, Christian, was phenomenal. He's such a great guy and funny, and did a great job driving us. But in Reykjavik, I have used the public transportation, and it was really great. But I think, you know, it can be a bit confusing to figure out the transportation schedules and the layout.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend, you know, using your company. It's much easier just to get around and have a driver. But, you know, if you don't want to do that option, then the public transportation, like the buses right here, photo.
Yeah, it was nice to see this photo that you just posted of the bus, this accessible bus, because I think this was the first group tour with disabled travelers ever in Iceland, where everyone was traveling on the same vehicle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was groundbreaking stuff we did there.
Yeah, and we had a phenomenal time on that trip. We were able to be in Reykjavik, and then went to the south coast of Iceland, and even the Blue Lagoon. And I'm thinking of the Blue Lagoon as one of the first things that everyone thinks about if they're planning a trip to Iceland. So I would love to talk a little bit about the accessibility at the Blue Lagoon.
Sure.
The outdoor experiences in Iceland. So
yeah,
there is.
There you are, the Blue Lagoon. Yeah, if we talk a little bit about that, I think the Blue Lagoon was the very first company I contacted once I had started up my company to inquire about accessibility there, and unfortunately it wasn't very good. So I went into, you know, a dialogue with them about how this could be improved, and that resulted in them putting up a lift to get into the lagoon. So you get into the lagoon itself indoors, and then you swim outside. This lift, unfortunately, now has been taken down because the water is so rich with minerals and salt that everything just rusted to pieces very quickly. So they have now made a special wheelchair out of PVC pipes, which they basically drive you into the lagoon So
yeah, there's right there in the photo is the ramp.
Yeah, there is a ramp.
Goes into the lagoon.
Yeah. Yes. So this is now the way to get in. I would prefer that there was a lift there, but since you know, the elements, they take a heavy toll on the metal in it, it was quite hard for them to maintain. But so all in all, it's good. You have a private changing facility there, and definitely an activity that I would recommend for everyone.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite thing probably in Iceland is the lagoon. And
yeah, it's very special.
When I went in 2015, they did have the lift and that worked beautifully. But then when I went last summer, they only had the ramp and it still worked really well. I mean, they had the like a chair there that you mentioned with the PVC pipe and just rolled me into the lagoon, and the staff helped, and I was able to swim around the lagoon and even like get the mud mask on and have a great time for like an hour or so just swimming in the lagoon. And
this is probably the best known outdoor activity there is in Iceland, and now there is another lagoon being constructed, and that is within a municipality that lies right next to Reykjavik, so it's much closer to the city. That is due to open, I think, now in 2021.
Nice. And I want to say hey to everyone watching. We have Christian from Iceland, actually. So hello, thanks for watching.
Probably my brother, your brother.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually met him then. He
this is my youngest brother. I have 3.
Yeah, and he also left another comment. He says, the ramp is also great for people such as myself that hate the cold. You can enter the lagoon directly from indoors. That's exactly right. And when I was in Iceland in 2015, another outdoor experience that he actually drove us to was to view the Northern Lights. And so we did a Northern Lights tour through your company, Iceland Unlimited, and we got really, really lucky after driving around for a while, and we're able to see the Northern Lights. So if you go to Iceland, in the correct season, in the winter or the late fall, then that could definitely be a possibility for your trip.
Yeah, I always say to my guests, you should consider seeing the Northern Lights as a bonus to your trip. It's such a, it's a natural phenomenon, so impossible to control, obviously. But if you see it, yes, it's a bonus. You're lucky because not everyone who comes are able to see it. But there are many other like outdoor experiences that are worth mentioning, like the Glacier Spouting Springs, which has a really good accessibility all around. Yeah, there you are. And all the waterfalls, especially on the south coast, a Golden Waterfall, which has really good accessibility. There is the Golden Waterfall. I was just there day before yesterday, and if you go to my company Facebook page, Iceland Unlimited, you can see a live video that I shared there yesterday, where I was alone there with my fiance. Was quite a special experience.
Nice. Yeah, it's a gorgeous waterfall. I mean, this photo really does not do it justice at all, but in person, it is just like spectacular and huge. And I mean, no photo can do it justice, I think.
It's glacial water, as you can see on the color. So it has this milky grayish color.
Yeah.
So a lot of volume of water in this river, and very powerful waterfall.
Yeah, and there were a couple other waterfalls that I was able to visit last summer. We visited this waterfall in the south coast.
Seljalandsfoss waterfall. This one is actually quite special, as it's possible to walk behind it. It's not wheelchair accessible, unfortunately, but people can walk behind it, so it gives you a unique perspective of a waterfall.
Yeah,
and then,
I was impressed that there was a paved path all the way up to the waterfall, so I was able to get right in front of the waterfall, and I couldn't really go behind the waterfall, but I could get very close to it, and it was probably my favorite waterfall, actually, just because of how close I could get to it. But another one was Skogafoss here, which is near the other waterfall and on the south coast of Iceland. And it was a little bumpier to get to, as you can see, so not paved, but I was still able to get pretty close, and it's another beautiful waterfall.
Yeah, this is like a picture perfect waterfall, I think. Really beautiful. And as you say, rightly, they are quite close to each other on the south coast of Iceland.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the tours that your company offers is the Golden Circle tour. And for
Right.
anyone that's watching and doesn't really know what the Golden Circle is, can you tell them a bit about the Golden Circle and what that tour offers?
Yeah, so the Golden Circle is more like a golden triangle if you look at it in a map. But it takes you to from Reykjavik to usually to Þingvellir, the Parliament Plains, if you would translate the name. And this is where Alþingi was founded. And this is a place of huge significance for all Icelanders.
It's a national park as well.
It's a national park, yeah. And from there you go to the Glacier area, the spouting springs, and from there you go to the Golden Waterfall.
Yeah. So all three of those really notable spots are right there on the Golden Circle. So, and that's easily a day trip also. So you could do that just in one day if you're staying in Reykjavik.
Absolutely.
I did in 2015, and then again last year, and it's a wonderful tour that, I mean, you absolutely need to do if you're going to.
Yeah, and there are many places to stop on the way to get some nice lunch, and a lot of things to see and experience. And another place on this tour, I don't know if you stopped at it. It was Kerið, the volcanic crater. Not sure if you guys stopped there. You did, yeah. So yeah, that's a beautiful crater. And then usually you drive down to the south coast, and from there back to Reykjavik. So it is a circle, but if you look at it on a map, it's more like a triangle.
Yeah.
But the most popular day tour in Iceland, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're talking about the south coast, some other sites that I would love to mention on the south coast are the city of Vik, and it has black sand beaches. So you can see the limestone cliffs out there in the water, and it's a stunning area. Here's a photo of the black sand beach, and I was actually able to roll on the beach a little bit because it was hard packed. So I couldn't go all the way onto the beach where it was like softer sand, but I could go close enough to get a really great view of those cliffs right there.
Yeah, this is like soft sand and pebbles. If you go back to the picture that you had on before this one, I 3 years ago I jumped off this cliff in a paragliding tour.
Oh wow!
And I flew around the cliffs with strapped to the tummy of the instructor in a specialized chair, which is purposely built for a disabled person.
Wow!
So that was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Yeah,
flying next to a seagull without no engine or anything was just amazing.
Well, I need to come back to Iceland and do that. That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But Reynisfjara Beach with Black Sand Beach is a really popular destination as well on the south coast.
Yeah. And one more I was able to do last summer is the Glacial Lagoon. And so you can see glaciers out there in the lagoon. I was able to actually, it's fully accessible. So a little bit I was able to get right as close as anyone could. And
did you go on the boat tour?
I did not do the boat tour. So we only got right there at the observation area, and we're able to see it.
Yeah. So the amount of or the number of icebergs on the lagoon varies a lot according to which season and how the year is progressing weather-wise. So I see that you have had some massive ones when you were there, and they offer boat cruises around the lagoon on amphibian boats and Zodiac boats.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So the South Coast is a beautiful destination. It's worth spending at least a few days in, I believe.
Definitely. we offer tours that where you spend 5 days on the south coast, and then a day when you arrive and a day before you leave in Reykjavik.
Okay.
So 7 days.
Yeah, awesome. And we have a couple questions. Gina says, did I hear that you can only change in a single changing room? I think at the Blue Lagoon, so no carer. No, so it's actually an accessible changing room at the Blue Lagoon, and
Right.
you are free to take a caregiver in there if you want to. It's a private changing room, so it's completely yours and yours alone. So you can take as many people in as you want to, or
Yeah.
it can just be you. There's a roll-in shower there. They also have a changing table, which I was able to use. You know, it's an adult-size changing table.
Right.
It's
So you
really
can be there with your whole family.
exactly. I mean, it's phenomenal what they've done there at the Blue Lagoon. And let me see if they're. Gina also wants to know if you have to book these facilities in the lagoon in advance. So I'm
yes,
not
that is definitely something that I would recommend, and this is something that we can do for our guests. And usually, in a normal year, they are full. So you have to book both for disabled and non-disabled guests alike.
Yeah.
You have to book your entry.
Okay. And now that we've talked a bit about the South Coast and the Golden Circle and the Blue Lagoon, let's talk about the city, the capital city of Reykjavik. So everyone, flies into Iceland at Keflavik International Airport, which is just like a 15 to 20 minute drive from Reykjavik. And Reykjavik, I think, is worth exploring. I think it's a beautiful city. It definitely has a lot to offer. So can we talk about a couple things to do that you would recommend in Reykjavik?
Yeah, so let's just start with the place where this photo is taken from. I think this photo is taken from Perlan Dome.
Yes.
It's a strange building which is built on the city's hot water reserve tanks, and it houses an exhibition called Forces of Nature, the geological wonders of Iceland. You can see, hear, and feel the power of earthquakes, for example, volcanoes, and geothermal energy. You can go through an ice cave, and I've done that on my wheelchair, so it is accessible. You can go underwater. You can experience a bird cliff in augmented reality, and other amazing experiences connected to the forces of nature that shape Iceland.
Yeah.
Now, another place that I would recommend is the Hallgrímskirkja Church.
Absolutely.
There we have it. Beautiful church right in the center of Reykjavik, and it's possible to enter the tower for a small fee. Now, another.
I do want to mention, it is not accessible to go to the top of Hallgrímskirkja for the view. So, but you can go inside the church, and definitely go inside and at least check it out from there. But I don't believe it's accessible to go to the top. Is that correct?
No, I've been on my wheelchair. It's possible that it might not be accessible for an electric wheelchair because of the elevator being too small.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, I went,
that's probably it.
Yeah, when I went last year, I inquired about it, and they said that it wasn't possible. But maybe it was just because I do use a pretty big powered wheelchair.
Yeah, it could be that. But I've been up there in my wheelchair. There are two levels. Once you're in the tower, I could not go to the very top, but I could go to the first level of the top.
Okay, awesome.
But another accessible indoor experience is the Whale Museum.
Oh yeah, it's a really great.
You've been there.
Yeah.
The National Museum. And another one that I would like to mention is the Reykjavik Aurora, which is like a multimedia display of the Northern Lights. So if it's cloudy, you can go to the Reykjavik Aurora to experience the Northern Lights, although it's not the same as the real thing. is the second best. And the latest addition, which I would like to mention, is Fly over Iceland, which is like how should I? Yeah, you're like soaring across Iceland's most spectacular scenery. It's like a simulated ride technology.
Oh, nice.
It's really, really cool. And I took my team there last year, and I teared up. It was so emotional, just the music and the whole experience, and to see how pretty this little island is. You know, it was utterly amazing, and I recommend it to everyone. And the staff at the Flyover Iceland is really helpful when, you know, getting into the ride itself. So if you think you're up for it, definitely give it a go, and everything is accessible around it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I definitely got to check that out next time. And you're absolutely right. Iceland is a stunning destination. I always say that, like, when I'm in Iceland, I feel like I'm on another planet, because it just seems like, you know, that much beauty cannot exist anywhere. And I mean, Iceland is just the most beautiful place in the world, possibly. So you're truly lucky to live there, and I can't wait to come back. But we've talked a lot about what to do in Iceland and some of your tours and transportation. But I would love to talk about some accessible accommodation options, which can actually be booked on hondiscover.com. So the first one that I would love to talk about is the Hotel Borg. It is in the heart of Reykjavik and across the Icelandic Parliament and the cathedral. And it's also became one of Reykjavik's landmarks, the hotel has. It's also located within walking distance to restaurants and businesses and souvenir shops, art galleries, and some specialty shops. So it's a perfect location if you're going to be in Reykjavik. And these are a few photos of the Hotel Borg. So
a really nice place.
Yeah, so it looks stunning. I personally have not stayed there, unfortunately, but it does look like a perfect choice, and it has wheelchair accessible rooms with roll-in showers, all kinds of accessibility options, and you can book it right there on hondiscover.com. And the second place I would love to talk about is Aya Goldsmaiden Hotel. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, but
that's very good, Cory.
And they also have wheelchair accessible rooms with a roll-in shower and full accessibility accommodations. And it's also in a great area. So Jón, do you know anything about these two hotels, and would you like to speak about them?
Absolutely. We work with both of them, you know, and have done so for a long time, especially Hotel Borg. I've worked with them since the beginning of my company, and they are in the heart of the city. Like, if you want to stay downtown, this is as much downtown as you can get. A fantastic hotel, 4-star hotel. I just one of the best in Reykjavik. The Aya Goldsmaiden, we worked with them for quite a while now, and our guests are very happy. They are somewhat a little bit like not right downtown, but very close. So just praise for both those hotels. Very, very good spots, both of them.
Yeah, fantastic. And there are also a variety of other accessible hotels in Reykjavik and all of Iceland on hondiscover.com. So if you're searching for accommodations, definitely check on there and find your next accessible accommodation. So now I'd love to ask you, just in general, why is Iceland a place to visit when planning a getaway? So why is it worth visiting, in your opinion?
Well, I think for a number of reasons. You can get such a variety in landscape and experiences within you know, small. You don't have to like drive for days to get to the next one. You drive for for an hour, and then the landscape around you might be completely different from what you experienced an hour earlier. The natural beauty is somewhat second to none. It is a country in formation. We have strong, like, natural forces still shaping our island. We have a volcanic eruption every 4 or 5 years on average. Not that that should be a source of attraction, but just to tell you how this country is changing and evolving all the time. It's very clean. It's unspoiled for the most part. I like to think that people here are very friendly towards travelers in general, and everyone speaks English. Easy to get around, and since I began Iceland Unlimited, the development in accessibility has been vast. It's been there's such a difference from when I began in 2010 and now in 2020. But although there is still work to be done, the hotels are becoming so more aware of the need for accessibility. And I'm not gonna tap myself on the shoulder and thank me for it or my team, but we've definitely had an influence. And I think, you know, when we are contacted by hotels and restaurants and tour operators to give our input on this, when in terms of accessibility and how it can be improved, that is a good testament, I think. So yeah, I think a variety of reasons, but you know, nature, good food, friendly people. I want to say good weather, but
Sometimes good weather.
sometimes.
Yeah, when I was there last summer, it was a little cold, but we went in July. But then on like the last couple days, it was really warm and pleasant. So you know, you never know what you're going to get in Iceland weather-wise, but
No.
you can still enjoy a variety of activities no matter what the weather is, and you may even get
it's like that box of chocolate in Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. Yeah, but I would definitely agree with all the other reasons that you stated for, you know, why someone should visit Iceland. There's a lot to see within just, you know, a small amount of area. So on the South Coast, I mean, you could spend 10 days and not see everything. So there's so much to explore. And talking about that, my last question for you is going to be, if you could only recommend 3 activities, which 3 would you recommend for wheelchair users?
Wow, that's a good question.
I
think number 1, I would maybe say Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be on top of my list, I think. Fly over Iceland would be number 2. It was such an amazing experience. Are you talking indoors and outdoors alike?
Yeah, just everything. If somebody could only do 3 things, indoors or outdoors.
And go see the Glacial Lagoon, Jökulsárlón.
Yeah.
Those 3, yeah. But it's difficult to choose. But yeah, just to say 3, to pick 3, it's difficult. But yeah, I think I would pick those 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I've only been to Iceland twice, so I definitely have not seen everything. But I would also agree, if I could only pick 3, and I would say the Blue Lagoon, absolutely number 1 choice. And then I would probably say I really like Thingvellir National Park. That's always one of my favorite places to go to. I've been twice, and it's a beautiful national park. It has waterfalls. It's just a really beautiful area that's easy to roll around in and paved.
Yeah.
So I think it's tremendously accessible and worth visiting. And then I would say definitely get to the waterfalls on the south coast. So there are a couple waterfalls that are just, you know, mind-blowingly beautiful and worth visiting. So yeah, I would say the Blue Lagoon, the national park, and the waterfalls, if I could only pick three things, I guess.
Yeah, the South Coast has definitely a lot to offer. It's one of our most popular tours, and yeah, the variety in things that you see is astounding. It's pristine. It's definitely something that, you know, we recommend for first-time visitors. And then when you come the second time, you can do the full circle if you don't have the time to do it. But the full circle can be done in 8 days, although we recommend 10 days to do it. And if you want to include the West Fjords, which is like the Wild West of Iceland, we recommend a full 2 weeks to explore the whole island.
Yeah, exactly. And can you please let everyone know where they can find out more information about your company, Iceland Unlimited?
Yeah, you just go to icelandunlimited.is, where you can see all our tours and service. We have a Facebook page, Iceland Unlimited Facebook page. And if you need any information, please don't hesitate to drop us a line. We try to answer all emails and phone calls quickly, and we'd be happy to help.
Awesome, yeah, and I would definitely recommend using Jón's company for everyone watching. It's Iceland Unlimited. It is a really great company. Jón is a wheelchair user himself, so he knows what is accessible and what, you know, you should do on your tour as a wheelchair user. So I could not recommend Iceland Unlimited enough. And thank you so much, Jón, for joining me today. It's really been a lot of fun to talk with you, and I can't wait till we can be back in Iceland and see each other in person.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Cory. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm looking forward to meet you guys again, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully so. I can't wait. Yeah, thank you again.
Stay safe. Thank you. All the best.
And thank you all so much for watching today here on Hondiscover's Facebook page. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you've learned a lot about accessibility in Iceland and what all the country has to offer for wheelchair users. So it's a beautiful destination, as you could probably see from all of the photos that I was showing throughout. And yeah, hopefully you can start planning your trip to Iceland once it's safe to do so. Again, we know that now is not the best time to travel, but it's never too early to start planning your next getaway. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. See you guys later.